Do not attempt these techniques yourself without consulting a professional. On this episode of The Dog Whisperer,
I saw this giant, big, unruly thing, and I thought that I could handle everything.
We remodeled the kitchen. We went from a tile to a hardwood floor, and she all of a sudden would not go into the kitchen, wouldn't go into the hallways. If she doesn't see rugs on the floor, she won't go on.
The majority of the New Orleans refugee dogs have tested positive for heartworm.
I like to help any dog in need. I want to be there for them. I want to be the human who helps them become physically healthy and mentally healthy.
No. When good dogs go bad, there's one man who's their best friend, Cesar Millan.
No dog is too much for me to handle. I rehabilitate dogs, I train people. I am the Dog Whisperer.
Fillmore, California calls itself the last best small town in Southern California. And for 45 years, Marlo Emmert has been Fillmore's local Dr. Dolittle. Though not a vet, she's got an uncanny connection with animals of all kinds, often rescuing and adopting the abandoned pets of this Ventura County farming town.
Oh, I think I've been an animal lover since I was born, practically. My parents didn't understand me because I was always bringing home animals.
My mom is a unique and interesting individual. I don't know any other moms that are like her. She would allow us to bring the lizards in when we found them, and snakes, and any other kind of critters.
I've rescued a lot of birds over the years. Someone would tell me about the bad situation that a bird was in, and so I would buy it. I think I have about 6 dogs.
She's just got an incredible heart for animals and just loves them.
I wasn't really planning to get Major Jones, but my heart went out to him because I saw this giant, big, unruly thing. And unfortunately, I thought that I could handle everything.
There you go. Good boy.
When I first got him, you couldn't touch him. You couldn't pet him. He had no respect for anybody. It might take 20 minutes to get him to come over and put on a leash.
Sit.
He would circle and be very upset. He would open his mouth and go for your hand. I've trained quite a few dogs, but I could not get him out of the yard on a leash.
My mom is older and by herself here, and she's extremely capable. But any of us could get knocked down by a dog that size.
Marlo calls in fellow animal lover, dog behavior expert Cesar Millan to help her get control of the 93-pound Major Jones.
Oh, Cesar, I have Major Jones. I was looking for a dog that people would respect, and because I live alone, and I've been broken into. He had been sold to someone for protection. Nice people, I'm sure, treated him well, but didn't do anything with him. And he didn't leave the yard, and no training, nothing.
And what was the problem?
The problem is he was not socialized at all. He had never been on a leash. He just didn't know how to behave or what to do. He didn't sit. He didn't want affection. He just ran around. It would take like 20 minutes to put a leash on him.
Yeah. So he's fine with humans?
He's fine with humans, but he's not fine on a leash. And when I take him out, he'll like circle and he'll open his mouth and like almost not bite you, but almost get you. I had one man help with a pinch collar.
Yeah.
And boy, that man went home with a bloody hand. He's been walked, but not well, and I've been afraid to do it myself. I need help getting him to surrender to the leash so he understands that a leash is not a bad thing, and then he's going to be able to go and walk and do things with me, which I want him to do.
So your goal today is for him to surrender to the leash?
Yes, that's what I feel.
Okay. I'm ready. How you feel?
Nervous.
Why?
I'm just.
But you're not allowed to be nervous.
Caesar begins the rehabilitation process by calmly connecting with Major Jones.
This is a very typical thing that happens in a lot of people that rescue dogs that had sad stories, sad past. Everybody wants to save the dog from what happened in the past. The reality is we have no access to the past. The only access we have is to the present. Dogs really need leadership. And Miss Marlowe was not giving this dog leadership. I just want him to calm down. There we go. Leash all the way on the top, calms the brain down. Up. See, I'm pulling up to block the brain from being excited. My energy, as always, calm and assertive. That's what we can't bring the owner right now because the owner was nervous. So that only makes him more in control of the situation. They don't surrender to nervous energy. There we go. We're going to have that. As you remember, his pass is to fight the leash. Simon. The more he fights, the better for me. Because the more he fights, the more he drains energy. There we go. Uh-oh. This is how he has won in the past. You see, he's doing what he did in the past. This guy needs to just run it out. See, this excitement thing is he's being cooped up for a while. He just needs to run that energy out, and it will be much easier to make him understand that the leash is actually a friend. I think I'm ready to go outside now. Not his way is my way, so door open means excitement. There we go, there we go. Major was not an aggressive case. Major is an excited, frustrated case. Frustrated first, excited, then dominant. This gives you a combination of a bucking bronco. There we go. Watch out, watch out, watch out. There we go. This is the fight. This is the biggest fight. Good. What I wanted to create for Major is to become a more well-mannered dog, a dog that somebody can walk with. What it's going to take here is just to keep moving forward. Once you start a ritual of making them surrender, you can't stop. Now, I'm going to accelerate the process to tire him up. So what I'm going to do, I have to accelerate the pace. I'll be right back. There we go. It's your turn.
All right.
Yeah, how do you feel?
I feel fine.
You feel fine, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear that.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. The exercise is very simple. Put the leash on, send the brain into a calm submissive state, then you walk. Even if you only walk one step, that is an accomplishment.
Whoops, 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 we're playing.
Marlowe's a bit unsure, but she's a fast learner.
I really saw her nervous when we started,
Okay, let's go. Well, I'm quiet, see.
but definitely she became more confident with his coaching and I think really started doing what he was envisioning as we went on.
Good, good, good. You asked, this is what you want to accomplish today.
Yeah,
Are we accomplishing it?
I think so. This is great.
It's happening.
It's
now
great.
you have to repeat this every day.
Yes, you're right.
The great thing about Miss Marlowe is she is a very courageous woman.
Okay, big boy, we're
right.
coming home.
I'm proud of her. She's very persistent.
Now the ultimate test. Caesar challenges Marlowe to handle Major Jones when his behavior has been the worst, going through the gate into his own territory.
There we go.
And you, whoops.
There you go. The dog was fine, the whole driveway. Then we come back to his territory, and then he goes right back.
Right.
It's very typical because this is what he has done here. So the brain goes back into what he normally does here. They don't rationalize, they just react. So we have to learn to deal with their reaction. Yes, because we're just gonna do this back and forth. This is gonna be the strongest part of the whole rehabilitation here. Once you accomplish this, everything else is piece of cake. Go back into that's right. Sit him down right there. Just keep him sitting down. There we go.
You can handle it.
That's really good.
Okay.
There, right there, perfect. Sit him down right there. That's right. Sit him down. Very good.
Oh, you. Hey, hey.
You need help?
No.
Good job. Very good.
You're not going anywhere.
Very good. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing me. When I put her to the test, she stayed there until Major calmed down.
Is it okay to just praise him just a little bit or touch him?
I want you to express your affection in a different way.
Okay, you don't want me to do that.
Yes, I do.
Just
I want you to reward yourself.
okay.
If you reward yourself, you pass that energy to everybody, not just him. All the birds you have around, they're gonna know that you're so proud of yourself for what you just did. She took the bull by the horn and the bull calmed down. So Major is now a much more submissive dog towards her.
Without taking the gate. All right, buddy. Good boy.
Oh, brother. I will pay to see this. You know, you're going to be inspiration for a lot of women.
Is he?
Very good.
All right.
Tears came out of my eyes. You're doing really good. For a while, she reminded me of my grandfather, you know, that he will not let animal take over.
It felt really good. It did. It felt very good.
With Miss Marlo, I have no doubt that she will follow through. She did it today.
I will follow through because it's very important to do it, not wait. It needs to start right away.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
I think that I can go on and finish the job that Caesar started today.
Well, you did fantastic, mister.
He's my hero, I tell you. He really is.
Let me have a hug.
He's a good guy, and I didn't want something bad to happen to him.
He landed in the right hands.
He's a mean one.
Jennifer and Shane Smith recently renovated their 3-bedroom home, adding a wooden deck and brand new hickory hardwood floors. When the work was finished, everyone was ready to enjoy the remodeled house. Well, almost everyone.
Josie's a great dog. She's actually great with the kids. She could go out front and doesn't run away and doesn't go in the street. She doesn't have a mean streak in her body.
But when 2-year-old Sebastian wants to play with Josie, those hardwood floors might as well be 10-foot-high castle walls.
I really couldn't tell you what happened. All I know is when it started to happen. We remodeled the kitchen and we went from a tile to a hardwood floor. And she would just, all of a sudden, would not go into the kitchen.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Wouldn't go into the hallways.
Come here. The room that she's confined herself to is actually the only room in the house with carpet. We have a small little family room in the back.
Now that's the only place that she'll really be in the house. She'll lay down in here, she'll sleep in here. That's pretty much the extent.
We've tried all kinds of things to get her to walk on the floor. Cheese, hot dogs.
Come on. Josie, come here, girl. Come on. Come on.
We play with my son in his room, and she just sits at the corner and cries. She won't walk back there even to come play with us. I have to lay rugs down, 5, 6 rugs at a time across the new hickory floors in order to get her to walk out the back door. She'll shake, she'll cry, sometimes she piddles a little bit.
If she doesn't see rugs on the floor, she won't go on it.
My wish is that when Caesar leaves, I could pull up the rugs in the kitchen and actually get to see my new hardwood floors, and Josie will walk across and not sit there and cry and actually come and play with us in Sebastian's room or watch TV with us in the front room.
This isn't the first time Caesar's played peacemaker between a dog and a floor. A year and a half earlier, he was able to rehabilitate Kane, a 160-pound Great Dane who feared shiny floors after slipping on linoleum and crashing into a window.
We had watched the episode of The Dog Whisperer with Kane, so although he did have a traumatic experience and Josie not, we tried to use some of the techniques that Caesar used. It did not work. Josie stopped at the back door, she put on her brakes and started to cry and shake. She's 80 pounds, so I can't pull her in. Shane can pull her in, but it's so sad, it's not a point.
We would like you to fix our dog.
Oh my God, fix your dog.
Get her to walk on our wooden floors. And the best would be to get her to be able to go into our son's room.
Okay. So she's nervous, fearful, terrified, petrified?
Kind of terrified.
And before that floor was what?
Tile. Like it was a ceramic tile.
It was just
what
like
happened?
that.
Just shuts down?
As soon as I finished, she wouldn't come in the door.
The rest of your house has a wood floor?
Hardwood.
That's all Josie's ever known.
And this is the same house that she's been living all these years?
Yeah. 8 weeks old, she came to this house.
Has she ever had any other episodes somewhere else? Like afraid of thunder, afraid of a trash can, afraid of a car, afraid of people with hats?
No.
No.
So she's like the perfect dog? They have to have something. I mean, I know perfect dogs, but there are not a lot of them.
She barks whenever we're not here. She's a barker. Our neighbors would like you to make her stop barking.
Okay, well, that's frustration, or that's...
Especially like if we're out front.
Did you ever discipline her?
Josie, hush up.
And did she listen?
No.
For a little while. She'll stop barking for a few minutes, and then she starts up again. The only way to stop her is to let her out there with us.
Oh.
That'd be it.
So you're listening to what her demands, pretty much.
Yes.
Most of the time, yes.
And the reason is? That's the easiest.
Well, I like having her out there.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It's an easy fix.
Yeah, it's an easy fix.
Yeah. She's a little lazy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if you say something from whatever you are, the dog have to do the behavior you ask. You know what I mean? That's a dog. They totally respect you 100%. Whatever you wish, they give it to you. She's learning that she can break the rules.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, to me, when a dog breaks the rules or don't have limitation, can lead her into nervousness, fear, tension, frustration, anxieties, and side effects, because their natural habitat, pack leader, always follow through.
How do you make her do it?
This is the typical part. Yep.
Caesar begins by taking Josie away from the comfort of the carpet. The first goal is to get Josie to feel at ease in Sebastian's room, where the family hopes to enjoy playtime with the dog.
But this is a nice room, don't you think? If you remember the Great Dane, Kane, same thing. Actually, Kane took a little longer than her. She tried to shut down a little bit more. And that's the time that you can't allow the dog to win. So we put a little tension on the leash, and then once the brain starts moving forward, we relax the tension. But we can't yet say, good girl, just because she did it this much. I always ask for 100%, and when the dog gives me 100%, that means the brain goes to this. But right now, she's like this. So if I give affection or trying to encourage right now, I will be asking her or telling her that this state of mind is good enough, which is not good enough. All right, so let's do it again.
There were times that I wanted to tell Caesar, okay, stop. It was a little tough, I guess, while she's shaking and stuff, but I understand that it's a good thing for her and to get her back where she needs to be.
This is like the breaking point right here. There we go. Again. So she gives like 3-4 seconds of protest. You can't let her win. We're gonna do this over and over, just like repetitions. Bring it back until she stops fighting. There we go. I'm gonna go again, okay? There we go, much easier. Okay. Well, see, this time, less fight, more willing, right? We didn't hear the feed, we didn't hear the putting the brakes. We're just going over and over and over. Come back to the room. We're not gonna allow her to go into that because that would be a safe spot. So in the meantime, we're just gonna fold it like that. We want her to experience that. She's, removing the nervousness, fear, panicking that she has about the floor for whatever reason. We're not gonna rationalize it right now. We're not gonna ask her why. We're just gonna help her to do the exercise.
Next, Caesar takes Josie to her biggest trouble spot, the kitchen, with its oasis of stepping stone rugs.
And this becomes like the safe spot for her. So the more that she has like safe spot, the less we rehabilitate. See, the leading is very mild, very minimum, very relaxed. She wants to run this way. There we go. This is really nice, see? The more you tell her that she has no choice, she has to go through this, the more she realizes nothing bad is happening. And the reality is nothing bad can happen. I mean, this is beautiful floor. Josie was born to be a follower. When we are in front of a dominant dog, we see teeth, we see growling, we see a dog attacking me, but this time we didn't saw it. We just saw a dog, okay, fine, I follow you. That makes sense in my DNA. I was waiting for somebody to tell me what to do. Now we're gonna remove this one. There we go. See, at the moment she starts pulling, I have to block from her winning. There we go. This is her safe spot, but the reality is the whole house should be a safe spot. But for her, the carpet, that's normal. And this is abnormal, which that's what we want to get rid of. Come back, turn around. Right, there we go, right there. Right there. Right, there we go. There we go. Step by step.
After a few more trips around the hardwood floors, Josie is becoming more confident, and Caesar is ready to hand the reins over to Jennifer and Shane.
Look, third time. So please, you try.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. Come on, Josie. Josie. She's stronger than me.
That's right. That's okay. Now turn around and make it clear.
Come on, Josie. Come on, girl.
Yeah, that's better. Notice that when you didn't ask permission, she comes, and when you were asking, come on, she hesitated.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. So to help animal when they have problems, it's best not to negotiate.
Okay.
Just do it. So now we remove the carpets that you wanted us to remove.
Right.
So that's a done deal. Now you just go all the way. You finish all the way.
I have to do a lot of work. But we're determined to do it. We're determined to get our old dog back. So we'll do it every day for the next few days, next few weeks, whatever it takes.
Hurricane Katrina devastates America's Gulf Coast, causing 400,000 to flee and leaving at least 1,300 people dead in its wake. But there are tens of thousands of pets left behind. They are the silent victims. Not long after the winds die down, over 1,000 volunteers pour into the wounded city of New Orleans, wading through filth to rescue 10,000 animals. Mark Steinway and his Washington State-based Pasado Safe Haven are among them.
Animal rescue!
We didn't know what to expect, and we went down there and we just sort of flew by the seat of our pants. It was like a war zone. It was total chaos.
Ultimately, 10,000 pets are salvaged from the rancid waters. They are welcomed by temporary shelters all over the United States, with over 350 dogs making the 1,900-mile trip to Southern California. But after such an ordeal, many of these animals are in severe shock and distress. Cesar Millan takes 3 of the very worst cases back to his dog psychology center in Los Angeles for rehabilitation.
I like to help any dog in need. It doesn't matter if a dog went through a horrendous moment of their life. Just because they're unstable, I want to be there for them. I want to be the human who helps them become physically healthy and mentally healthy.
The dogs have been at the center for a week and are beginning to settle into their new home. They are an extremely fearful female Rottweiler, an aggressive male Akita mix, and an overexcited lab Dachshund mix. Caesar isn't giving them names yet, in the hope that they'll be reunited with their owners soon. In the meantime, Caesar tackles the dog's trauma-related psychological and physical problems.
So all this is mange. It's not contagious, thank God. There's a lot of hair fall off right here. That can be created from stress. It's not always a sickness. We're definitely using medication in order for them not to have the itching part, because the more they scratch, the less this heal. And regarding her psychological being, she's doing fantastic. Everybody here already accepted them. So this is girl number 1. So now we move to the other guys. This guy has no physical problems. He has no mange. His thing was more psychological. He was more aggressive. He's going to be checked by a doctor, and he needs to be touched before a doctor touches him. The energy that you're sharing is not like, it's okay, don't worry. Because he gets excited, see it? But when I was not being excited about it, he was just relaxed. I do share affection. I am not sharing excited affection. I'm sharing affection that makes them relax, which is their favorite treat. He was the guy who was anxious and excited. Right now, he's turning a little bit unsure about things. The 3 of them are doing just the same. They're doing really good for just a week. They go up and down, which is part of the rehabilitation time. Sometimes they play, sometimes they go and hide, sometimes they run away. But at the moment they're doing something that is not good for them, we go and make them do something else in order for them to have a successful rehabilitation.
All of the dogs need medical attention, so Caesar creates positive associations for their visit to the vet.
I want the dogs to bring me to the doctor. How? I rollerblade with them. So that gives me access to drain physical energy, make sure that they have the bowel movement, make sure the bladder is empty. This way they don't have to feel uncomfortable coming to the doctor because they're relaxed. First, up, there you go.
It's okay.
There you go.
Make sure the whites of the eyes are white.
Veterinarian Dr. Deborah Oliver volunteers her time to help Caesar with the 3 Katrina orphans.
The dog is in really good shape. Everything looks good, so we're good to go with treating the dog for the heartworms. Heartworm is a disease that is carried by mosquitoes. So you see it mostly in areas of the country where you have a lot of mosquito infestation. Mosquitoes bite, they put these organisms in the dog, and then they can grow to be worms, which sit in the blood vessels of the dog near the heart. And the problem is they can clog the arteries, and they can make it very difficult to breathe, and they can be fatal. From what I know, the majority of the New Orleans refugee dogs have tested positive for heartworm.
Give me a hug, thank you.
Blood tests reveal that all 3 dogs do have heartworm. 2 injections of an anti-parasitic drug should eliminate the worms. Meanwhile, Caesar continues to work with the dogs at the center.
I have to rub myself against him. I have to be right next with him. I have to make sure he's not nervous about my presence coming to him. He's comfortable, he's relaxed. He really don't want nothing to do with me at this point, but this is just part of me telling him that if I need you, you have to come out. There we go, come on. Come on, there we go. There we go. You gotta be in shape here.
Even playtime is part of their rehabilitation therapy. While the visitors from the Big Easy take in the Malibu surf, Caesar's wife Illusion searches for their owners. During week 7 of their rehabilitation, Caesar brings the Katrina dogs back to Dr. Oliver to spay and neuter them for their long-term well-being.
Because the reality is, if they don't get to mate, that adds to their frustration. So when the mind is constantly going through, I have to mate, I have to mate, I have to mate, you never get to see themselves. So it was important for me to remove that part of them so I can get to see who they really are when they don't have that frustration going on in their mind. Hey, so today is a big day for us. Today is a day where they get spayed and neutered. And it's important for me that I'm here with them because I am a familiar human being to them. So before they get anesthetized, it's important for them to feel relaxed. If they're under stress, if they go into anesthesia with the stress in their mind, they can come back that way and they can release the frustration on the stitches. So it's very important for me that they are calm, submissive before they go into surgery. They don't know why they're here, so it's very important that we don't feel bad about it, that we don't feel sorry about them, that we don't practice that energy, because that's how they sense something bad is going to happen. So if we make this ritual of being neuter a pleasant thing, that's what it comes out. It comes out what you project. Okay. Hey, Sandra, we're back.
Doctor will be right out.
Hey, excellent. Hey, doctor.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again.
How are things going?
Great. So as you see, the guys are doing fantastic. They're familiar with you. Look at that. That's awesome.
Hi, kids.
See, this is why it's very important to have a team, so we both represent a positive experience. Hey, perfect. Nice and familiar with them. Excellent.
While the Roddy and Dachshund Lab Mix wait in the kennel, Dr. Oliver prepares the male Akita for anesthesia.
This drug is dosed pretty high, but it's the safest drug out there.
Good, tail. Make sure tail is not between legs. So, right here.
So I want to basically make sure he's still doing okay after being dewormed.
Yes.
So I want to check his color, and his color is absolutely beautiful pink, meaning he's got lots of oxygen in his body.
Great.
I want to listen to his heart and lungs, make sure there's no heart murmurs, heart problems. And everything sounds terrific, so that's good. I feel good about anesthetizing him.
Yes.
It's going to go IV.
Okay.
And it will be very quick.
Okay.
It's all right. You're doing great, buddy.
It's okay.
It's going to be a little syringe.
It's okay.
He's being very good.
No.
Okay. And he's down.
Wow. That was quick.
Very quick.
That he's going to dream about pink elephants and stuff?
And we're going to protect his corneas because he loses the ability to blink.
Oh, okay.
So we put some lubrication in there. We're going to go ahead and put a trachea tube in.
Totally. This is the process.
And it's going easily. The dog is feeling nothing. He's out. So we put that in and we tie it into place. Isn't he happy now?
Yeah, totally. Look at him.
And then we flip him on his back and we put him on this little cradle. Nice. So we can expose the parts that we want to remove very easily.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. I'm going to hook him up to the anesthesia machine. And that will keep him under during the entire surgery. So you don't have to worry about any waking up, any pain, anything like that. No pain.
No pain. All right. So the guys are back. 6 hours later, obviously the surgery went great. They're not feeling bad about themselves, which is a lot of people concerned. So if you feel that this is the best thing can happen to them, that's exactly what they're gonna get back. They're curious, they wanna go back into the pack. Typical. They wanna join back the family. Obviously the family doesn't feel bad about them. But one thing is going to be great for them is they're not longer going to project the scent, which that could create a really bad fight. So it's only one not feeling very good about what happened, right? So she's unsure because she senses that everybody is viewing her in a different manner. So it's normal. It's normal. They have to go through the whole experience. As long as you provide the control, they're going to feel safe. This is great. See, this is the male, one of the males that we have, feeling good about himself, feeling great. Everybody's, see, notice how they use their nose. They're not asking her, what happened to you? They know what happened to her. They always go through the same process, nose, eyes, nose, eyes. They don't do ears. They don't go, what happened to you? How'd it go? So it's important that we don't speak when they're doing that kind of activity. I'm speaking to you because I want you to understand what is happening. But it would be best if we don't say anything. If you stay quiet, they definitely pick up on the energy better.
After 3 months at the center, both the female Rottweiler and the male Akita mix wait for their owners to find them, or for a loving new family to take them in. But for the once anxious male lab Dachshund mix, a miracle occurs.
He's black, short, and he has like a little bit of white on his right front paw. That's him? Okay, that's great. And what's his name? Scrappy? Okay, great. So we're coming down there.
Healthy, rested, and rehabilitated, Scrappy is finally going home.
Yes!
Rescuer Mark Steinway remembers the day his team found Scrappy.
Animals like Scrappy are just an amazing story because he went through so much. In the days following Hurricane Katrina, we just started going door to door and hollering and banging on the doors and banging on the sides of the houses and the windows, hoping to stir up some kind of noise inside. Well, in Scrappy's case, he didn't bark. But the rescuers heard some rustling inside. Scrappy has made his way behind the washing machine and is hiding from them. They had to use a catch pole to stick down there and loop it around his neck. Once they got him outside in the street, he was just the sweetest little thing, and he was so grateful to be rescued.
When we heard about the mandatory evacuation, it was that Sunday. So we left, and I left Scrappy with food and water for a couple of days, so I thought Scrappy would be okay and would be back. Obviously, when that didn't happen, I was devastated.
After 2 months of staying with relatives, Lois and her family ended up in temporary housing near Monroe, Louisiana, more than a 300-mile drive from New Orleans.
I ended up in hospital one Friday night, in which I was kept until that Monday evening from stress. And just worried about the dog, knowing that the family was fine, but I'm so close to my dog. I'm very appreciative to everybody that's had anything to do with Scrappy's rescue and, you know, his well-being and everything. Thank you all so very much. But please, can I have my dog?
I guess it's time for Scrappy to go home.
Scrappy is great. Scrappy is protective. Scrappy would run to the door before somebody would even knock. He would know somebody's coming. At night, if it was anything he heard outdoors, he'd make that noise. So I think it was pretty protective, I guess like all dogs, but he's so lovable.
He's sensing something.
If you're sitting on a couch, he's coming to lay by your feet. If you're in the bed, he's laying right there with you. I miss him following me around.
He's sensing something, and that's the beauty of it. That's something that I'm actually learning today from living with a dog that was miles and miles away from home, but once he got near home, it's like he knows he's near home, and he can feel it, and he's so happy.
The whole ordeal was a tragedy, but I am so glad, and I feel so blessed. I'm so thankful that Scrappy is fine and coming home.
Caesar and Scrappy take one final spin around the block. It's a chance to say goodbye.
I can already feel my tears in my eyes. Missing this little boy. Let's go, Scrappy boy. Well, this is gonna be a very happy day and very sad because people that rescue dogs like myself and help and rehabilitate dogs understand where I'm coming from. They just become part of your heart, part of your memories. But as part of rescuing and rehabilitating, accomplishing the cycle, right? Right, Scrappy boy? Let's go, Scrappy. I guess he knows you. Oh, I'm so happy. He's doing the right thing. He's working the crowd. He's working the crowd. He's working the family. We arrived at the airport, right? And at the moment he stepped on the cement, he was like, I'm close to home.
That's Southern Air.
Oh, that's Southern Air, isn't it? That's what it was. That's what it was. Well, I know he lost his house during the hurricane, so we want to donate some money for him to get his own house.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. No, it's the least thing we can do for him. He was great. He was an asset to our pack.
Yes. Absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate everything you did.
Yes. The most important part that we can learn from this story is that dogs will not blame you for what happened. So as long as you have great memories with them, they don't forget you. And Scrappy is a great example of what happened. 3 months with me. He came today, see his family, and love his family again. That's beautiful. Let's go, buddy. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
You know, there is a special place in my heart for people who rescue and shelter dogs in need. Scrappy the Katrina dog is doing great, and Lois reports that he's back to being his old self. To me, Scrappy is a great reminder that dogs live in the moment. Marlo can now get Major Jones under control when they go for a walk. And if he misbehaves, she knows how to correct him. Josie has made some progress, so Jennifer and Shane need to stay focused and positive to keep Josie moving forward with her rehabilitation. Until next time, please remember to support your local rescue groups and animal shelters. And don't forget to spay and neuter.